Functions in Solidity are like reusable tools or recipes in your smart contract. They let you group code into a unit that you can call whenever you need it, avoiding repetition. For example, a function can take inputs, ingredients, perform an operation, the recipe, and return an output, the result. In this video, we'll explore Solidity functions step by step with clear examples and visuals to help you understand how they actually works. A function is a block of code that performs a specific task. It can be called by name, possibly with some inputs, and can return an output. This makes the code modular and reusable. In Solidity, you define a function using the function keyword, a name, optional parameters, visibility specifier, and optional return type, for example. This function takes two uint inputs and returns the output. A Solidity function generally follows this pattern. Function name, a unique name for your function. Parameter list, a comma-separated list of inputs, each with a type and name. Visibility specifies who can call the function, e.g., public, private, etc. Returns, optional, declares what types the function will return. For instance, the code below defines a function that adds two numbers. Here, add is a public function. Anyone can call it. Marked pure because it doesn't read or modify contract state. It returns a uint, the sum of its inputs. Now let's talk about parameters and return values. Parameters. Functions can accept multiple inputs. In the example above, add has two parameters a and b. These inputs allow the function to work with different values each time it's called. Return values. A function can return a value or multiple values. The return types must be declared in the function signature. For example, this returns a single uint, and Solidity even allows returning multiple values. You can declare several return types and assign to named variables. For example, this function returns both sum and prod. The function automatically returns these variables at the end. Now let's talk about function visibility, who can call the function. Solidity has 4 visibility specifiers that control who can call a function. Public. Any external caller, including other contracts or transactions, can call this function. It's also callable internally. Public is the default visibility if you don't specify. External. Only other contracts or external transactions can call this function. You cannot call an external function internally by just its name, except by using this .function name. Think of it as an external API endpoint. Internal. Only this contract and contracts that inherit from it can call this function. It's like a function meant for internal use and extended families. Private. Only this contract can call this function. Other contracts, even children, cannot access it. For example, function public. Anyone can call function, external, only external calls. Function, internal, only this contract or children. Function, private, only this contract can call this function. Other contracts, even children, cannot access it. These visibility rules ensure you expose only the functions you intend. By the way, if you omit visibility, Solidity makes a function public by default, but it's best to always explicitly write it for clarity. And now time to understand view and pure functions, read only. Solidity provides view and pure, modifiers to declare, functions that do not modify state. View, promise not to modify state, no writing to storage. It can read state variables though. View functions are gas-free when called externally, no state change. Think of a view function as a read-only query. For example, just read state. Pure, promise not to read or write state. The function can only use its inputs and local variables. It's like a pure math function. For example, doesn't touch any contract state. The pure modifier tells Solidity that this function won't change state in any way. If you try to modify a state variable inside a pure function, the compiler will throw an error. Now this one is important. Payable functions, receiving ether. A payable function is like a cash register in your contract. It can receive ether. If you mark a function payable, it means you can send ETH when calling it. Only payable functions can receive ether. Otherwise the transaction will be rejected. For example, here you can call deposit funds and include some ETH with the call. That ETH will be added to the contract's balance. Without the payable keyword, trying to send ETH would fail. And now function overloading. Solidity lets you define multiple functions with the same name as long as their parameter list is different. This is called function overloading. It's like having 2 different recipes with the same name but different ingredients. For example, here, getSum 7 calls the first function and returns 12, while getSum 5 calls the second and also returns 12. The Solidity compiler distinguishes them by their parameter count types. But you cannot overload by return type alone. The parameters must differ. The last thing is calling functions. Within a contract, you call functions by their name just like a normal function call. For example, this calls bar from foot directly. For external functions, you'd use this bar5 or call from another contract address. Functions break your smart contract code into reusable blocks. Define them with the function keyword Give them inputs, parameters, and outputs, return values. Control access with visibility, public, external, internal, private. Use view or pure for read-only functions, and payable for functions that accept eth. You can overload functions with the same name but different parameters. Understanding functions is key to writing smart contracts. Try experimenting in Remix or your favorite Solidity environment. Define simple functions, play with visibility and modifiers, and watch how your contract behaves. If you learned this explainer, please like and subscribe for more Solidity tutorials. Hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos. Happy coding!